Okay, I just had something funny happen. Recently, we made episode number 2 of our series, Unveiling Lazarus in Mark's Gospel, and I had the strangest feeling that I was missing something. And sure enough, when I looked into it, I think this was spirit-led. I looked into it and found out that I had missed a very key component that fit in with the story of the rich young ruler. So this is episode 3. We're returning to the rich young ruler. This one I'm going to entitle Jesus Loved Him, and I completely missed this in the first previous episode. So here we go. Let's get into it. Back to the focus of our series. Lazarus is making cameo appearances in the Gospels, and these appearances are more prominent in the Gospel of Mark than in any of the other synoptics. And why is that? Because his friends, Peter and Andrew, who are behind the Gospel that we call the Gospel of Mark, they want you to find him there. So, revisiting the rich young ruler. Again, I missed it in episode 2. So, what's different about Mark's version of the story, and how does this version point to Lazarus more so than the other gospel accounts? Rich young ruler, Mark chapter 10, verse 21, when Jesus answers him, it says that Jesus, looking at him, loved him and said to him, "One thing you lack. Go your way, sell whatever you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, take up the cross and follow me." So the significant thing here is that Peter and Andrew's version of the story, again, the gospel we know as the gospel according to Mark, is the only gospel that says that Jesus loved him. And again, is this insignificant, or is there more behind this? If you remember, if you were with us when we did the series of John and Lazarus, we pointed this out as well. And that's what kind of hit me. I think my memory was hitting me. I knew there was one of the gospels that said that Jesus loved him, and I couldn't remember which one it was tonight. So I was kind of scared to check into it, because if I found it here in Mark, that meant I missed it and I should have had it on the previous video. But if I found that it was in a different gospel, that would mean that this whole theory that it's only Mark's gospel that is pointing to Lazarus, that would have blown the theory out of the water. But sure enough, it is true. It is this gospel account, Peter and Andrew's version of the gospel, that is pointing to Jesus. I mean, pointing to Lazarus. So let's visit the fourth gospel here. It says, "Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus." So what's significant about this? These are the only individuals of which it is said that Jesus loved them, which makes Lazarus the only individual male in the entire New Testament that it says that Jesus loved him. And again, we know that God so loved the world. That's not the point here. We're talking about what the Bible says about individuals. So just as the rich young ruler story in Mark says that Jesus loved him, Jesus also loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. This is the only male that is said about. This is not a coincidence, just like Peter running with the beloved disciple and the rich young ruler running to Jesus in the previous episode. It's all the same. These are not small details. So Jesus loved him, that is Lazarus, the rich young ruler, and Peter and Andrew want us to connect the dots to find Lazarus in their version of the gospel. And again, this kind of blew me out of the water when I heard this tonight, or when it just hit me. So we're going to continue to see this in future episodes. I believe this is a very strong theory. And I'm starting to think, if you were with us on the John or Lazarus series, instead of trying to harmonize all the gospels to figure out who the beloved disciple was, I think we're going to find that all we had to do was simply look at the gospel that we call the gospel according to Mark. Again, it's Peter's and Andrew's account of it. This is going to be exciting. I know there's a few more episodes coming, Lord willing, but I'm sure other stuff is going to pop up just like it did unexpectedly now. So again, that's all. That was a quick one today. So look for future episodes. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And until next time, contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints, and God bless.